Hi, my name is Luis and this is Real Talk, and today we're talking about Soka Gakkai activities.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So I was born in the practice, so chanting and hearing all this stuff is just kind of normal for me. How was it when you first heard chanting, maybe, or attending the meetings and hearing all this stuff? I'm just curious.
The first thing you do at a meeting in India at the time is 20 minutes of just synchronized chanting. And even if you were just a small individual right at the back of the room, you still wanted to synchronize your sound with people around you. And I think it was the collective sound of it that was really inviting for me.
Wow.
Yeah, for me, the meetings were the moment I could really see and get to know the people who were putting that this Buddhism into practice every day. It was very clear to me that to practice this Buddhism, you don't need to be an expert. You don't need to study a lot to start practicing. When I first joined Soka Gakkai activity in Brazil, the first thing that really jumped into my eyes was how everyone there seemed to be happy and supportive of each other. The activities gave me a sense that I'm not alone. I can share my struggles, my challenges, my goals with everyone here because I know they will be supportive. I know they will encourage me. I felt that was the biggest value of attending the activities back then. And how about you? How is it for you?
Yeah. My entire family in my household practiced Buddhism. Once I became a teenager, I thought I knew it all and stopped practicing Buddhism. It wasn't until I got in trouble and needed something to believe in, and this is where I really challenged this practice and really chanted to overcome something. And I started doing this particular activity where we help out at these meetings behind the scenes. So we'll do things like traffic control or work AV for meetings. This really helped me to grow a better understanding of this Buddhist practice of prayer, of faith, and of study. Through this process, I really learned to really dig deep and understand, why was I struggling so much? But my natural tendency was to not wanting to do that stuff at all. There's something about, working towards something bigger than yourself. By doing these activities, even if it's a small scale, our aim and our goal is to try to encourage the person that's right in front of us so that they could have their breakthroughs of their own. Because it was this goal that was bigger than my problems, I was able to have the courage to do things that I didn't normally like doing. I became a stronger person every time I did these activities. My whole kind of character started to shift and I just felt happier.
That is something that was a big change for me as well. After I started practicing Buddhism and I joined Soka Gakkai, I was able to join one of the training groups in the organization called Taiyo Ongak Tai, a band for young men. The purpose of the band is to bring hope and spread peace through music. I have never ever played a musical instrument in my life. So I started doing trombone lessons. I was putting my best there. But more than learning how to play trombone and being there at a performance was all that process of connecting with the other members of the band who helped me so much, helping me to become a better human being, a better Buddhist. So how about you, Rimsha? What is it for you that connects the activities with your practice?
I remember going to meetings and doing my regular activity. I would do my discussion meeting, which is where you hear these testimonies or experiences of people struggling and achieving the growth that they achieved. I would do New Human Revolution study meetings, which is a series of books that President Ikeda has written. We would study together with the young women's and sometimes the student division. Buddhism kind of breaks it down to finding actual proof in your own life. The activity now for me is a way to do my human revolution, which is this inner revolution that President Kayla talks about, to be able to create these ripples of change within yourself. Those ripples will eventually move towards society as well. And I feel like to hear something that encourages me, or to be able to say something that encourages someone else, that one person, if I can just have one good interaction in that day, that's my human revolution. So that activity really makes a lot of difference to my life in terms of my human revolution.
Yeah, that's actually a real good point. I was always encouraged by a quote from Daisaku Ikeda, and he talks about the importance of just one person that's in front of us. Of course, we want to change the world, but how can we really have a positive impact with just one person in front of us? He says that 0 multiplied by 0 will always be 0, but 1 multiplied by any positive number will always produce a positive number. There's infinite potential in the number 1.
That's a great point, because I felt like the moment I started contributing to the activities with the goal of making other people have a great meeting, a great time there, living encouraged and more determined, was the moment that the things in my personal life began to advance the most. That's when I realized that this Buddhist practice is way bigger than me. And I cannot practice just for myself. It has to be something that encompasses as many people as I can.